Here we are in May. Biggest thing, the line broke. The white line separated the hetman, basically made the decision here, along with Denikin, that they couldn't stand where they were, even though Wrangel is coming in very shortly with a big pile of forces. And the Denikin has been getting additional units regularly. It's just not at a rate sufficient to hold that line. Especially given Stalin's little action, charging around the Kolchak front. Kolchak's going to have to either withdraw, or, and I think this is what he's going to do, take the riskier move of trying to cross the river, using propaganda and various other trickery to try to get across without too much pain. Either way, though, it means that the white line, which was thin enough up here, is going to have to fall back. And given that, it only made sense for the southern player to pull down his forces. And he ended up taking Tsaritsyn, which, or retaking it, which has some value. It gives him an extra recruitment point. And then over towards the west, things aren't so exciting. Kirov went charging up to deal with the Poles and kind of scared them away. And the Ukrainians came out and harassed some of his units. Biggest thing we're seeing that's kind of interesting, and I left the markers on the map, a lot of aerial interdictions going on at this point. Both sides have planes, and there's cool stuff you can do with them, especially as the rails radiate outward. Up near Moscow, it's too easy to stay in supply, so the aerial interdiction doesn't do a lot. I've been popping them off now and then. But the further and further you get from the Moscow area, the more effective the rail interdiction is. Latvia finally fell. Udinich, whoever his replacement is, showed up in Finland to command those troops. I got to figure out something to do with them. Sitting in Finland doesn't make a lot of sense. Miller's up in Murmansk, and I can't really justify sending him there. I need to find some place where I can get replacement points, and there aren't a lot of places right now. Might just end up launching attacks, pull those units of Miller's out, and put Udinich in there, and hey, maybe he can get Petrograd. I don't know. It's not going to happen, but at least it could be an annoyance of great enough factor. The biggest thing, though, yeah, the eastern line, that changes the game significantly. Now, I've never seen the whites come back after this. Once that line, anyway, I've never seen them win, so once that line breaks, though, it looks like it's over to me. There's still a lot of game left, though, and we got a lot of Poles coming in. If the Poles could, pursue their war fully, to whatever extent they wished, it would be a problem. But eventually the Bolsheviks are going to get the Treaty of Riga counter and be able to surrender to Poland and give Greater Poland its existence. That's about it. Just want to show briefly that Kolchak gets at least a partial success. Broke through. Looks like he's cut Stalin out of supply. The day looks a little brighter now. This is June of 20. We've seen a couple of factors come into play that are definitely reinvigorating the white cause, at least in their mind. First one is the Polish reinforcements. Okay, big deal. We knew they were coming. The Poles pulled back a little bit, and now they've got an operable army. Of course, they are facing 3 Bolshevik armies, which is somewhat painful. The Ukrainians are still harassing Kirov, though, so his army hasn't really been able to act. But then the other one is the extent of Wrangel's forces, which, or the second issue. This is what Wrangel brought in at this point. Now he brings as good a, he is as actually a better commander, but allowed to command as big a force as Denikin is. So what I'm looking to do is extend that line back up the river line and try to try to get some kind of connection with the Siberians. They're going to be in trouble anyway, but at least we're able to give them some help. I also intend, don't tell the Bolshevik player, to pull one of the lesser leaders, Chernikov or whatever, over into the Crimean, where I had stacked a couple of units, to lead a small army out of there and threaten kind of the meaty interior up here. The Bolsheviks are going to have to react to that, and it may allow, actually I'm going to leave Wrangel down here and send Denikin up north. It may allow Wrangel to be able to crack this line and then start on his way back up, which would be a really good solution for the white player, or for the southern whites, because they're going to see the Siberians taking the hits, and they're making the advances, and may be able to get something off that Polish offensive. So on the other side of things, oh yeah, two other things that came up. I played the White Corps chit to give the Siberians more reinforcements, and I played the Polish aid to Poland, which gives them a regular, every turn, 6 extra reinforcements points, which is really cool. On the other hand, the problems. First of all, Trotsky figured out some ninja stuff and took Murmansk. Basically, the threat to the north by these units forced the defense on Archangel, and that weakened the Murmansk forces enough that Trotsky was able to beat them out in several different attacks. Secondly, Finland looks like it's about out. They're about ready to fall. They can just sue for peace and return to status quo ante, but I'm not sure what that means with Yudenich up there. He's going to be a harassing force no matter what. That's about it there. Miller's on his last legs because he doesn't have any, he doesn't get any replacement points anymore. All right. Realizing what I forgot to show, the little escapade with Stalin crossing the river. Everything else seems so much more exciting than this now. But this was a big deal at the time. Stalin's out of supply, cut off by Kolchak's forces, but he was able to link back up. 1, 2, 3. He still will be out of supply next turn, barely. So he's got some problems, but that just means enhanced. It means he takes an attrition check on one of his stacks, which isn't that bad a thing. But anyway, I'll wrap this one.